This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, you didn't know where you better go. You better know, you better get ready, you better recognize. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Big Tyme. This is Big Tyme Rants. This is the value of wrestling. We got a lot of news to cover. It's been a minute. I believe this is episode 95 as we get closer to 100 episodes of the Big Tyme Rants. But we're here to talk about a lot of things that are going down, a lot of news, a lot of stuff, a lot of things to discuss. AEW's new interim champion is coming. Will it happen? We'll discuss that. Who left AEW? Who brought into NXT? Where is all ego going down in NXT? Why was there TNA chance on NXT? And Rebecca's future and so much more. We're going to break it down. We're going to get right into it. We're going to deep dive into all these different things that are going down in the world of professional wrestling. And we're going to start with AEW. Had their pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. We did a post-show review. You can go watch that right here live on the channel. Make sure you check that out. Tonight we'll be live with your post-show Dynamite review, the fallout of Double or Nothing. We're going to get into all the details myself and whoever else may be joining me tonight, doing a deep dive and what the fallout is. A lot of interesting things here. One of the big things going into Dynamite tonight that we must recognize and understand is Copeland. Adam Copeland has broken his tibia after coming off the top of that cage in that dive. Everybody said it kind of looked funky. It kind of looked weird how he came off on that dive. And so there was a lot of questions. Now that he's broken it, it definitely looks like he's going to be 6 to 8 months in recovery time. It looks like he's probably going to be out until the end of the year. As your current TBS or TNT champion, the TNT champion, what does this mean for AEW? Generally, what this means is that Tony Khan will come out and tell the wrestler to keep their title, and they will have an interim champion. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing news about the possibility of an interim AEW TNT champion. Some type of match coming up, probably at Forbidden Door, if not sooner, to crown an interim TNT champion. That champion will carry the belt until Copeland's able to return, and then they will have a title versus title. The general stuff that we've known from AEW and Tony Khan. I hope he's decided to change his ways. I hope that Adam Copeland can tell Tony Khan why this was a bad idea, that we don't need any more interim champions, that let Adam Copeland come out, relinquish the title on Dynamite, and then he can go off and recover and do what he needs to do, and then we can crown a new TNT champion without interim being affiliated in any way, shape, or form. And then when Adam Copeland comes back, he can chase that champion or declare that he never lost that belt to the champion and get that belt back. That's what needs to be done. We don't need interim champions. We don't need the word to be in front of an interim champion. It diminishes the title. It makes it more lackluster, and it tells you, oh, they're only an interim champion. They're only holding the title temporarily, possibly, and it's just not a good look for any belt, and just it takes away from it all. And so, will AEW crown a new interim champion? That's what's going to be out there. That's what we're all going to have to assume because this is what Tony Khan has done in the past. Will it be different finally this time? Will Adam Copeland be the voice of reason? Will Bryan Danielson be a voice of reason in this? Can we get away from doing interim champions because it just doesn't help the title, doesn't make the title better. It just kind of drowns out the title, makes it less lackluster. Interim just feels like the person is a paper champion holding on to the title, a false champion. So many words can be labeled with that when you put the label interim champion, meantime champion, part-time champion, champion until. I mean, these are not good things, and this is not what's going to help the brand that is AEW get better when you constantly have interim champions. Unfortunately, sadly, yes, Adam Copeland's been injured. He took a dive. He came out on X in video form and explained, yes, his mind told him to do something in his body's like, no. You got to love the truth with Adam Copeland. Love Adam Copeland. Wish him the best. Hopefully, speedy recovery, that he's able to get back in the ring. A lot of people were worried because they're comparing it to when the Macho Man dived off that huge hill steel cage in WCW and broke his legs and never was able to be the same Macho Man as he was before. We can only hope that Adam at 50 can recover, get back in the ring, and keep doing what he's doing at the level that he is doing it. But that is wait and see. Who left AEW? Who is out? Excuse me. Felt that one coming on. I do this live, I record this, and I just go with it, and I run with the flow. So if things happen in the middle of the show, they happen, and we learn to live with them because this is the best and honest way I can give it to you, the way that it should be. Anyways, who's left AEW? Arn Anderson is either out or just about out, and with recent comments from Cody Rhodes about possibly wanting a manager, needing a manager, or adding a manager, it makes for an interesting situation. We know that Arn Anderson and Triple H were much closer to Vince McMahon and Arn Anderson. Could we see Arn Anderson coming back to WWE, working in the backstage areas? Will he help produce young talent? Will he be there to help in creative? Will he be there to help as a road agent? Will he be there to be Cody Rhodes' manager? A lot of options here with what will happen with Arn Anderson in the future, but Arn Anderson is done with AEW. He's either done, or he's wrapping up and about to be done here within the next days or weeks. He is very close to the end of his contract. Mark Henry's contract has come to an end. He's not renewing. He'd rather focus on any other things in his life. He announced this on Busted Open Radio that he will not be extending or renewing his contract with AEW, and neither are they. What is the future for Mark Henry? Well, that door is wide open and a lot of opportunities for Mark Henry. For him to go where he's going to go. Could he wind up back in WWE in some form or faction? Could he wind up as a coach in NXT? Could he wind up as some type of talent agent? Could he wind up as somebody that's helping younger talent get ready to prepare for the future in WWE? Could he become a talent scout? A lot of great people have done that in the past, and Mark Henry has a real nose for talent, and this could be an opportunity for him to help scout talent for the future classes of NXT. This is what will happen with Mark Henry. We're going to have to wait and see how that all plays out, where that goes, and who, where or when he shows up more than anything. So big news last night, NXT went crazy as two major appearances, two major surprises occurred. One being all ego Ethan Page. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Page is now in NXT. He is a part of the WWE roster. He showed up last night on NXT, attacking Trick Williams, the NXT champion. Ethan Page diving into the deep end of NXT, and what a great addition this is going to be to NXT. Ethan Page going to get some time to shine. Was he fully used in AEW? He had moments of greatness. He had moments where he felt like he was going to be something with special, but AEW never pulled the trigger. I think Ethan Page could definitely be a huge star. I mean, there's a lot of ego Ethan Page that you can see where he can grow and develop in NXT. If you look at Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, all ego Ethan Page is definitely a fit with those men. I mean, they're all on that same level. They all can deliver. They're going to be great talent. How long will all ego Ethan Page? How long will Ethan Page be in NXT? I don't know. He's going straight for the top shot at an NXT champion. He's going right after Trick Williams. Are they going to get him in there? Are they going to make him NXT champion? Will he have an NXT run? How long will that be before he's on the main roster? I don't think this is a gentleman that you're going to need long in WWE, NXT, in WWE development, learning the WWE way of doing things. But it's going to be magic. It's going to be great. Ethan Page, NXT. He's black and gold, as you know. Ethan Page in WWE. This is going to be awesome. Can't wait to see what he's going to do. We know him and Trick Williams. He went out there and whooped that Trick. Unfortunately, some fans are not going to be happy about that, but we're going to have to see how that plays out. Will he be the future NXT champion? It looks like he's going to be fighting Trick Williams at Battleground in Las Vegas. What will that mean? Where will Ethan Page go from there? A lot of big surprises. A good big surprise. Can't wait to see what Ethan Page does in the future. He's definitely a main roster contender. He could definitely be transferred into a lot of these storylines. He could definitely be in a mid-card title run fairly easily once he gets comfortable with the WWE system and gets introduced to the WWE fan base as a whole. NXT definitely picked up on who he was. The shock value was great. This is a great moment for NXT, and it looks like those stars in AEW that are not being used are finally finding their place. We do know that Ethan Page has a indie show after signing with WWE that he's going to appear in. So a lot of great things there. Ethan Page holding a lot of keys to a whole lot of different kingdoms. We know Ethan Page has connection to Cody Rhodes, so it's going to be interesting. Who are other names we're waiting for? Well, Ricky Starks being one of those big names. When will he show up? Where will he go if he doesn't work things out with AEW? It's getting interesting as we see the seismic shift and changes with contracts coming up and contracts expiring, with people leaving one company. Will they jump to the other? Will they not? All this stuff is out there. All that stuff is very interesting. Also, a big name leaving AEW, Jake Hager. Jake Hager is no longer with AEW. His contract has elapsed. Jake Hager is a free agent. Where would Jake Hager wind up? Could Jack Swagger make a return to WWE TV? Could we see him in some presence, some part of WWE in the future? Could he wind up working with NXT, some of the younger talent? He would be a great face for NXT for a little while if he's not going to be on the main roster. Could we see Jake Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger, back in WWE? Or will he go back into MMA fighting? What is the future for Jake Hager? We don't know, but he is out of AEW too. Lots of bright things to talk about there. We can't wait to see that. If you're watching NXT last night, you would have heard a very strange thing that I don't think you've heard in a long, long time. Or ever. We got TNA chants. TNA. TNA. Yes, we got TNA chants on an NXT show, on a WWE program. Another company show. We haven't heard something like that maybe since the ECW chants that swept the world and swept the nation and happened all over the place. But we got TNA chants on NXT. Why was that? Because the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion Jordynne Grace showed up to confront Roxanne Perez, and she's going to face Roxanne Perez at NXT Battleground coming up here in Las Vegas. I believe on June 9th is the day of that show. That's going to be awesome. Jordynne Grace making the jump over to NXT. She is going to be on NXT next week, facing, I forget who. I have to look at that, but she has a challenge. And we also know it's been stated that NXT talent is going to show up on TNA TV here very soon. TNA, NXT, TNA, WWE, showing that they have this partnership, showing that they're going to start developing things and already done more for TNA, NXT, WWE than possibly TNA and their partnership with AEW. When Tony Khan a couple years ago claimed that AEW and TNA were the same, that they were together, that it was them versus us and us versus them. When he tried to say he was here now to take over the captainship and steer this ship, that he was here to take over. Did this help TNA, or did this just kind of shove TNA into the background? TNA working on a partnership with WWE. We've heard the rumors. We knew something was boiling. Something was going on. Something was being cooked up in the kitchen. And now we're finally seeing this fruition come true. As NXT Battleground is going to be in Las Vegas, we know that TNA does a lot of recordings out of Las Vegas these days. This could be interesting. This could be awesome. What future endeavors, what future things are we going to see with a partnership between TNA and NXT, or TNA and WWE? We know TNA is working with a lot of different things. We know Nick Nemeth is part of the TNA brand. We also know he's working in New Japan. We know New Japan stars working in TNA. We know there's a multi-partnership there. Is this the door in for WWE? We know WWE is looking to expand into Japan. We know WWE is looking to work with other entities. This could be an interesting storyline. This could be an interesting direction for WWE if they start working with TNA. What's next? Could they be the next group that's going to work with New Japan Pro Wrestling? This could be very interesting. We see the door. We see the world changing. We see the landscape of professional wrestling changing. We see the landscape of WWE changing since Triple H took over. What partnerships, what future endeavors, what growth are they going to do? And could this be a hindrance to AEW and their future partnership and the future directions they're going? Or are we going to run into the ultimate, where we're going to have to get AEW versus WWE and some joint event? Could the grandest forbidden door, whether you like the name or don't like the name, the aspect, the hidden door, the magic door, the forbidden fruit, the forbidden event, could it all take place? Could we eventually see AEW versus WWE? Could they come together? Could they gel together? Even with different shots that people want to nitpick on that were taken by each brand. Tony is not an innocent man. He's taking his shots. He's taking his, he's fired some shots, pretty heavy shots. Triple H has fired shots in his own right, yes. But could we see a future where AEW and WWE work together? It's the season of the allergies. Yes. You know, the allergy season's here. It kicks some butts. And so, yeah, definitely a trying time when you have allergies. But hey, it's all good. We will get through this. We will push through this. But Jordynne Grace showing up in NXT with the TNA Knockouts champion. She's going to take on the TNA women's, or the NXT women's champion, Roxanne Perez at NXT Battleground. This will be exciting. The future is growing. What will happen with WWE? What is their future endeavors? How will this affect AEW? What will AEW do? Response? Could there ever be a future of WWE versus AEW? We'll have to wait and see how that comes to be. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, and the biggest news that everybody's talking about, Becky Lynch may have wrestled her last match on Raw in a loss in a steel cage to Liv Morgan for the WWE Women's World Championship. She lost in the steel cage. Liv Morgan was able to escape due to outside shenanigans. Dominic Mysterio had showed up to try to prevent Liv from winning, was trying to hold the door open for Becky Lynch to crawl out. Unfortunately, Finn Balor, JD McDonough came down to ask Dominic what he's doing. This then brought down Braun Strowman, who chased JD around the ring, accidentally crashing into Dominic, who crashed into the cage door, which crashed into the head of Becky Lynch, incapacitating her and allowing Liv Morgan to crawl out the cage door and win the match and retain the WWE Women's World Championship. As this could have been Becky Lynch's last match due to her contract expiration on June 1st, which is this Saturday, which is just mere days away. We don't know what's going to happen. Now, Becky Lynch came out and said she has no plans at this time or initial plans to join AEW, and has been said to say that she has no plans to join AEW at any time in the future. We know she's married to Seth Rollins, and he has re-signed with WWE. I don't see why she would want to leave WWE and separate her family. I could definitely understand how she may want to take some time away from the wrestling business, take time to heal up. Seth Rollins is home healing from an injury under a new contract. Could she go home to spend time with him, to be there for their daughter, to spend time with the family, to grow and see what they need to do for the future? Will Becky Lynch be back at WWE? I'm sure. Will it be in the near future? I don't know. Will it be sometime down the line? Is she going to take some time off to be a mom? Is she going to take some time off just to enjoy life? Is she going to retire? Could this be the end of Becky Lynch for now? Who knows? Is it an issue of money? Is it an issue of scheduling? What could it possibly mean? What could it possibly be? We don't know. And we won't need to know. And we really don't need to know until the things come together. Good chance that Becky Lynch will return to WWE in the future. We're just going to have to wait for that time to come. I don't expect her to show up in AEW, but we can't say never. Anything could happen. Tony could offer her a bundle of money, and she could show up down there. A lot of people predicting that she's going to show up at Forbidden Door, challenge Mercedes Moné for All In for that TBS title. Will that change the landscape of professional wrestling? Will that change the women's division in AEW? Would Rebecca Knox, because you're not ever going to get Becky Lynch in AEW, no matter how much you want it. You're not going to get Becky Lynch. And we know why. If you don't, go Google it. Yes. Anyways, what is going to happen with Becky Lynch? We're all just going to have to sit back and wait and see. Will she take some time off? Will she take some time to heal? Will she take some time to be with her family and live life and enjoy life without the stress of the WWE calling on her? She's one of the biggest stars of professional wrestling, and regardless of what happens, if she comes back to professional wrestling, whether she comes back to WWE or goes to AEW, whether she does any of that, she's definitely going to get paid to be the best woman in the business. She's probably going to be paid as the top woman in wrestling. So it's going to be very interesting. You see, we watch the best for Becky Lynch, Rebecca Quinn, whatever your future is, whatever you decide. We support you as the fans. We support you here at the Value Wrestling. We appreciate everything you've done up to this point, and we can't wait to see what you do in the future. Anyways, on the Big Time And before my allergies beat me anymore, I'm going to get out of here, get something to drink, take some allergy medicine, and get back. But this has been your Big Tyme Rants, episode 95. It's been a while, I know. There just hasn't been a lot of great news to sit down and report, but the last few days, Copeland's injury, Arn Anderson, Mark Henry, Jake Hager, all leaving AEW, all Ethan Ego Page showing up on NXT, Jordan Grace showing up, TNA and WWE's partnership showing through, Rebecca Quinn, all these things that are going on. I said it was time to sit down and talk to you. I appreciate you for taking time out of your day, joining me, giving me the chance to talk to you, and hearing me out. Make sure you give this a big thumbs up. That is always appreciated. Helps the algorithm go and get us out there. Ring the bell for notifications so whenever we do new content or we go live, like we're going to go tonight with AEW Dynamite Post Show Review, we will be live. Make sure you're here for that. Drop your comments below. Tell me what you think about anything we talked about. How do you feel about all of this? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let's talk about it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We are trying to grow. We are trying to grow quick, fast, in a hurry. We want to be in this. We want to become legit competitors because we're not here to be pretenders. We're here to take over. And that's a damn fact. And everybody better be ready because we are coming and we are coming quick. So hit that subscribe button. Join the Value Wrestling family. I promise you, you won't regret it because we are here. We are here to make a change. We are here to be the very best. Believe that. Cash that check. Take it to the bank. I appreciate you. And I will see you on the next one.